our last video, we had just left Palermo, Sicily, on our way to Sardinia.
Sardinia is the second largest island in the Mediterranean Sea after Sicily, and is one of the 20 regions of Italy. Since leaving Greece about a week ago, we've been running from storms that seem to be chasing us.
Some of the storms are normal squalls and some are just plain frightening. When the combo of lightning, thunder, and high winds all get together and throw a great big sea party, it is just not much fun for us. Your best tool to fight the fatigue is, of course, sleep. Getting as much sleep as possible is simply the best, quickest, and most helpful thing you can do. It starts to feel like one long, endless storm that isn't going to give up.
Fortunately, we can also break up the storm fatigue by seeing a beautiful sunset or seeing a pod of dolphins chase after the boat as we bounce along the sea surface. After another 2 days of motor sailing, trying to get out of the way of another major storm brewing north of Sicily, we finally spotted Sardinia, and we were all ready for another overnight pit stop in a small marina on the southern tip of the island.
The next morning, we were up early and heading 6 hours further west. This time, our target was the southwest corner of Sardinia and a town called Villasimius, where we stayed in another marina for 2 nights to let another storm pass us by. Staying at Villasimius for 2 days gave us time to explore a bit.
Someday, Kay, we restore a tugboat. Yeah, see the tugboat? Yeah. How you feeling, Kay? We just checked into Sardegna, the southern tip of it, after about 40 hours?
No, 30.
Okay, so how you feeling?
Queasy, actually, which is the first time I've had land sickness in a long time.
We gotta go this way. Queasy, or is the land spinning?
It's spinning. So I'm walking really slow.
Right next to the marina, we found an old stone fortress. Unfortunately, the gates were closed for the season, so we could only walk the grounds and peer inside the gate. The stone walls were impressive, about 2 meters or 6 feet thick. While waiting for the storm to pass, the winds in the marina were up to 38 knots or close to 44 miles an hour.
The next morning, between squalls, we decided to hike out to a nature preserve and to a tower on top of a small hill with a great view. The hike took us along the edge of a small bay with a long beach. The bay, which is also a wildlife preserve, even had a few flamingos wading in the water. We were told they are year-round residents.
Even though we had storms all the way around us, we didn't get rained on. It was so nice.
Yeah.
On top of the hill was another stone lookout tower used for spotting invading pirates. The wind on the hill was also there in force. It was actually really hard to walk around the windward side of the tower.
The next morning, we were off again, and it was time to say goodbye to our short-lived visit to Italy.
As we were leaving the marina, I saw what looked like the smallest fishing boat I've ever seen, and I told Alessandro the boat was almost as big as he was.
It's only as big as you.
The seas were even rougher and bouncier than they were 2 days prior because of the previous day's passing storm. We were finally greeted by a mostly sunny sky, but the winds remained as well as the big rolling seas. Today is a rough day. The seas are just giant rollers, swells. I don't know how tall, maybe 2 meters. Everyone's feeling yucky today. Everyone's tired. And I think we're going to be doing this for the next 8 hours. So not a great day. Oh, we're about 120 miles from my destination. So maybe about 27 hours or so. Can't wait for that to arrive. The next best thing you can do is to make sure you are fed and hydrated properly. A hot meal can feel like heaven under these conditions.
Unfortunately, since leaving Greece, we haven't had any completely relaxing days sailing yet. The boat, bouncing around day after day, can get you very tired, both mentally and physically. And yes, there are a few times when you just want to get off the boat for a while, when the storms get strung out for over a week. Midday, we hit another squall, and then more sun. It's fascinating how much and how fast the weather changes while you're at sea.
We also had our best dolphin encounter yet.
He's still here, Kay. There's 3 more. Oh, there he is. 2 more. 3 more. 4.
We were still a day away from the small island of Minorca, but we'll have to get to that island in our next video as we continue to head westward towards Gibraltar and the Atlantic on our way to the Caribbean.
As of the end of the last video, we are about halfway to Gibraltar, or actually halfway to the Canaries. And it feels like such an epic trip lately. Definitely the storms made the days seem a lot longer, and we're glad we got through them without any incident, because we saw quite a bit of thunder and lightning off in the distance, and we did have to zigzag a few times to avoid some of the more concentrated cloud coverage and thunderstorms. So we are glad everything went well and we all made it safe and sound, because we met someone in Palermo who was actually struck by lightning while in the marina just about 2 days before we arrived.
About 6 boats away from where we were.
Yeah, so that was just nerve-wracking, knowing that we were going out in potentially some bad weather that could end up with some thunderstorms. Well,
Anyway, so in this last video we complained a lot about the storms, and there were a lot of storms. As you can see behind us, it's fairly blue now, and we'll get to that in the next video.
yes, indeed.
But it was a chore to get blue back over our head.
This is true.
Anyway,
We worked hard.
Stay tuned in our next video and you'll see how the sky became blue. We'll see you next time on Sailing Blackbird.
Bye-bye.